the nature of your emergency?
Welcome back to the Tactical Living Podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Welton, joined by Sergeant Welton. Clint, how are you?
I'm really good.
I think that a lot of people don't understand the family fallout and how being a police officer or a firefighter can really impact your home life. And something that comes to mind for me is that if I was not married to a police officer, let me backtrack. If I wasn't married to somebody who worked as a correctional officer before I was married to somebody who's a police officer, then my safety and security would probably be out there somewhere in la land. And, you know, whether we're talking about making sure that I always have a firearm on me when I'm out, especially by myself, or how I'm parking my vehicle, making sure it's very easy for me to escape somewhere if I need to, or my vigilance with my surroundings, never having my AirPods in if I am not in the safety and security of my own home, even on an airplane. I refuse. And, we've learned the hard way. I've learned the hard way. There have been not many, I would say a small handful of times where we've let somebody into our inner circle and they just turned out to be like not what we thought they were. An example of this is a female that after my mom died, perhaps she took advantage of my situation and I didn't realize it because of the grief is looking back, kind of what I think. And she turned out to be one of the most psychotic people that I've ever had in my inner circle. So much to the extent that like she went on I know this all happened because it happened directly after she just ghosted me. We spent all this money. I booked a plane flight to go see her, booked a hotel to go see her. And then it came to like, what was it? Like a week before I was supposed to leave to go see her. And this is after like 2 years of us talking every single day. And even you talking to her, Clint. And then she ghosted me. And then like what happened? And then, so that was whatever it was. And then it was like she got mad at me for some reason. And, I messaged her once after she ghosted me. And then I never heard back from her ever since. And for whatever reason that happened, maybe, I can't explain it. I have no idea. And so, I went to New York anyways. It was whatever. And, and she did crazy things. And I knew that it was her because this all happened directly after. I think while I was there in New York, things like going onto my podcast and leaving a bad review. That was, I think it was one of the first and only bad reviews I've ever gotten on this show. Then I automatically got I'm talking hundreds of these like signups for these dating websites. I'm like, what the fuck? And this is my personal email that I don't give to anybody. And I'm like, Clint, like some of them I never heard of before. And things that, of course, I didn't sign up for them, like just crazy ass shit like that. And so it's very important to understand, I'm sharing all of that to explain, it's very important to understand that the dynamics that you have working as a first responder are going to be carried into your home life. And I'm kind of glad in retrospect that those things happened because it was very strange around the same time. Some other weird things happened with this same little group of people that became involved in my inner circle all at once. And then they kind of all became not involved in my inner circle all at once for just me seeing like, wow, that one is crazy like that. And that one is also crazy like that. And that one is also crazy. Like it just a learning experience. And I think that we all go through that. And so there are a lot of things for us to understand. And I think it's important to understand just how your career impacts your personal life and the people that you share your personal life with.
Yeah, you want to be able to recognize that, but also, either be able to separate yourself when you start recognizing those red flags, being able to separate away from those individuals to where you're not having an emotional connection to continue to put yourself out there in that negative environment, to those negative feelings and emotions that are coming your way from those individuals. And it's having that vigilance, having that mindset of not only when you're out in public and being able to evaluate everything that's going on around you, but within your own circle is knowing, okay, who is there to support me and who is there to hurt me.
Yeah, there are other elements of your home life that you could protect. I'm thinking about all of the missed milestones like birthdays, anniversaries, holidays, because everything kind of collides with your shift, and emotional absence. This, we've experienced this a lot, and you and I both do our best to be able to to show up and to be there, even if we can't be there physically, but it's something that you learn and you adapt on how to do it. And you'll have parenting gaps. You might have heightened household tension. It could be from stress. It could be from, not having a shared workload because one is gone more than the other. You have isolation from your civilian friends even. And there are ways for us to be able to identify these things and then to be able to protect them. And some of these might apply to you even if you're not a first responder. And I think it's important to prioritize communication with the people that you care about the most. You and I do a great job with this, whether it's texting each other, whether it's sending each other emails, whether it's writing little notes or reminders, or, hey, did you put this on your calendar? Like, we do a great job with that.
Yeah, being able to have that communication with one another, it's showing that you're not closing yourself off from your spouse, from your loved ones, and being able to have those candid conversations when you recognize, hey, this is going on. What's going on to create that dynamic right now?
Something else that, as long as you're framing it correctly, becomes really special is that you create these family rituals that work around the job and not necessarily around the event as it pertains to the calendar or just the world in general. And, even if it's not the holiday itself, for example, you can be intentional with your traditions. You can shift your dinner. You can, the things that I'm thinking about the holidays because they're coming up and then you're going to be off for the holidays and that makes me really happy. And just the certain traditions that we have that we do, regardless of the day of Thanksgiving or the day of Christmas.
Yeah, being able to adjust it just because it's on one particular date doesn't mean that's when it has to happen. Like, I
was going to say just now that we're already late for putting up our Christmas tree. And then I'm like, we have like 3 Christmas trees already set up downstairs.
I know.
People have already sent me Christmas trees. And yeah, but our actual Christmas tree, like my beautiful Christmas tree, is not up yet.
Yeah, we're going to have a whole Christmas forest this year.
And then 2, making sure that you set boundaries between work and home. What drives me crazy is when I see first responders, or I see a lot of firemen, actually, mostly than than police officers, who bring their radio home, and they're just like constantly listening to the radio when they're not at work. And then they'll give you some bullshit excuse about why they have to listen to it and like why they have to stay in the loop.
Yeah, it's kind of a crutch that you. I know some officers who do stuff like that too, and it just, to me, I'm like, why? Like, there's no
I
point.
know some police wives that listen to their husband's radios the entire time that he's at work, and I don't even know what the website is for. Like, I wouldn't. Like, why would you do that?
Yeah, well, and you're seeing that to where a lot of people aren't even able to anymore because it's getting digitized to where the public doesn't even have access to it, to where they can't listen to it anymore.
Well, the dark web gives you access to everything. Not saying that I'm condoning that.
But it's one of those instances is, one, like, I know me and the radio traffic that I put out on the radio. I don't like talking on the radio, so it's few and far between, so you wouldn't even hear when I'm out there.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like listening to radio calls when I'm like engulfed in a true crime episode or something. Like, that's an exciting part of it. But like for you or somebody like one of my friends, like, I don't want to hear that shit.
No, you need to create that separation, that to where home is home, and you're not just trying to feed off of what else is going on in the world.
And we're laughing about it because to us it is actually really funny because I picture it, right? But the truth is that if you find yourself in that situation or you feel uncomfortable because of the things that we just said, the truth is that you probably need to, and I'm saying this with the most love that I can, do something or have something that belongs to you and stop trying to share everything with whatever it is that your spouse does for work.
Yeah, you want to be able to have that separation, and that comes from being the spouse or being the person who is the first responder. Is you want to bring the togetherness for the work aspect and bring your family to be involved with it, but at the same time, you need to create that separation to where when those instances aren't going on, you can just say, no, this is who I am, and we're going to enjoy our life as a family.
As somebody who's been married as long as you and I have, when I see couples that have really great structure and really great rituals built into their marriage and built into their family unit, it makes me silently proud of them. I can see a lot of the times where an officer might share with me in discussion something that him and his wife do that kind of balances things out for them. And one of those things is that when the person who's making life difficult for the other spouse, so usually it's going to be you if you're the first responder, and it could not always be, right? I know sometimes my workload kind of pours over onto you, and it's not easy either direction for us. But let's just use that as the example. When you're acknowledging the weight that your spouse carries and you're actively participating in things, meaning that you're having discussions around parenting and chores and just the emotional labor of things, it is such a relief to see that, because it does so many healthy things within the integration of your family unit.
Yeah, being able to have those conversations and shed light on that, because a lot of times those are unspoken words that if you don't share with one another, even though you may both be feeling that, you're never going to be able to actually approach the problem.
I hope you've gotten some value out of today's episode. If you have, do us a favor, drop a review, subscribe down below, and as always, know that I'm sending you a long, tight hug from my home to yours.